Hi everyone! This week we're going to learn about the art of the High Renaissance and the Reformation. We're talking about really the 1500s, so the 16th century, and we'll be looking at the High Renaissance. Again, Renaissance means rebirth. So it's a rebirth of what is known as antiquity, or the Greeks and the Romans. So the ancient Greeks and the Romans. So you might hear or read the Renaissance is a rebirth of antiquity, or you might read it's a birth of the ancient Greeks and Romans. And this means math and art and literature, everything. It's just looking at the whole society and really thinking about that society and incorporating ideas from them. The Reformation was a time period where the church gets fractured. So we had the Roman Catholic Church in Western Europe, and it really had control over most of Western Europe. But what was happening was they got a little greedy, and they were selling something called indulgences. And indulgences were the idea that, say, I went and I stole an apple, which I know stealing is wrong and it's a sin, but I steal the apple anyhow. Well, and I eat it and I yum, yum, yum. Then I go to the church and I say to the church, to the priest, hey, I stole an apple. How much money will it take me to have that sin erased so I can still go to heaven? And the priest says, it will take you need to pay me $50. So I pay him $50, and then I don't have to worry about that sin of stealing the apple and eating the apple. That is really how indulgences were working. But people were, paying for murder. People were paying for anything, adultery, anything. And then they were thinking that they were absolved of those sins because they paid the church. And the church was very greedily taking this money. So a lot of people started to have problems with this, one of them being a priest, a German priest by the name of Martin Luther. So he wrote all of these grievances he had with the church, and supposedly he hammered them up on the church door, and the church got very mad about this and actually ends up excommunicating him, which means he can't have any involvement in the church anymore. He goes off and he starts his own religious movement, and a lot of people begin to follow him. And his last name being Martin, it was Martin, and his last name is Luther. This becomes this whole idea then of Lutheranism and the Protestant movement, or the Protestant Reformation. So this is really where we get the word Reformation. The church responds to these people breaking off, and we have something called the Counter-Reformation. So we'll be looking at that in the next couple of weeks. Another person that is involved with the Reformation and the breaking away from the church is Henry VIII. Henry VIII wanted to get a divorce. The church wasn't going to let him get a divorce, so he said, well, then I'm not part of your church anymore. And he makes his own religious movement so he can get a divorce. Okay, so there are a number of people that fall into this, a number of stories that go along with this, which as we go through this, I'll go over, I'll point these out.